Don't you give up now, you have made.
Happy end of Nanowrimo, friends. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. I disappeared during Nanowrimo, so this is just gonna be a little update, I guess. Yep. Okay, well, I did reach my plan. Start from the beginning. My plan this month was to write 80,000 words during November. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mother, so I thought that was a realistic goal for myself. Perhaps foreshadowing, when I do not have an infant, that will be a realistic goal. Right now it is not. I did not reach 80,000, if you didn't guess already. I did reach 50,000 yesterday. I took over 10 days off. Took off being a loose set of terms. I didn't write for 10 days during it, during the last month, and I needed to write 3,000 words every single day. That definitely didn't happen. Definitely didn't. The first, I want to say the first half of the month, I was going real strong, writing 3,000 words or more every single day. And then I hit sort of a plateau, but I also hit a point in my outline where I hadn't fully vetted it yet. So that was complicated to write quickly with not actually knowing what specifics needed to go into each scene, since they weren't as well thought out as the beginning of my outline. I pushed through, and I did end up getting yesterday to 50,000 words, which is super exciting because whether I made 80,000 words or not, I'm still more than halfway through the book, and half of the book is written. So that's a great thing. I did order myself, I had 2 gifties for myself that I was going to give myself when I, throughout the process. I had one at 50,000 words, which was a new knitting set. And I've got one for 80,000 words, which I have not purchased yet because obviously I haven't reached 80,000 words yet, but that is a candle making set. So I'm excited to get there when I do. I'm hoping to finish the book by the end of December. I am still writing, but now I'm writing with a little more reasonable expectations of myself. So I do only have 30,000 words left to write, but I'm not going to try and write 3,000 words a day. I have found that is, while it is possible for me to write 3,000 words, it's not sustainable for me to write 3,000 words a day. So I think going forward, what I'm going to aim for is 1,000 words a day. I'm going to leave the weekends out of it, and I'm going to just schedule those as days off. And if I do write, then great. If not, that's fine too. But I'm going to continue writing and hopefully finish the book by the end of the year. If not, I'm going to be okay with that, because you know what? It's still getting written. Anyway, so what went wrong? So much. So first of all, the biggest thing I think that went wrong was my outline was not fully, it wasn't perfected yet. The first half of it was on point. It was really good, which is why, not the first half, the first, I'll say third to half of the outline was really good, but I didn't get to the second half of the outline during Preptober, so it was a little bit rougher. It's a little bit rougher going right now. Part of the other problem that I have, I think I've talked about this in previous videos, I might not have, but I have a really hard time including non-dialogue or action information. So like scene setting and the wind blew through her hair and silly stuff like that isn't, it's not driving the story forward, but it's still important to the story. And I have a hard time including that. So a lot of my chapters, because of that, are shorter than they should be. So theoretically, each chapter should have been, I aim for about 3,000 words in each chapter. And some of them, honestly, some of them are only like 1,500 words. So because I only wrote like the really scene important stuff rather than like including the stuff that really like draws everything into a picture for the reader's mind. So I have to go through and write and add in all of that stuff, which I think I'm going to do once I've finished the draft, and then I'm going to go back through. I've already marked which chapters need help. So I'm going to go back through once I finish the draft, and I'm going to do that then. So I think the book is going to be done. Like I'll finish this draft at probably only 60 to 70,000 words. Probably around 65,000, because I do really need to go back in and edit a lot of that stuff. I also have a huge editing list for myself of like inconsistencies that I've noticed in my own writing. The other thing that went wrong during NaNoWriMo this year was at the beginning of the month, Nash, my daughter, was sleeping through the night for 8 to 12 hours straight. And then that went to hell. And for a few days, she was waking up every 2 hours. Every 2 hours. Now when she wakes up, I wake up and like, I don't know, there's this like evolutionary thing, I guess, where the moment that I like hear her crying, my adrenaline starts going and my brain wakes completely up. So even if I don't have to like physically get her out of her crib and nurse her or rock her back to sleep, my brain is awake and it takes a good 45 minutes to an hour to go back to sleep. So I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. Let's put it that way. She's not teething yet, but she is getting there. So she's gnawing on a lot of things and she's uncomfortable a lot during the day. So she's a lot needier, which obviously is fine. And I'm enjoying the snuggle time that I get right now because of that. Especially since Nash is not a snuggler at all. Child wants to be like, she wants to be held on my hip, but we want to be doing things. She doesn't want to just like snuggle for snuggling's sake. She either wants me playing on the ground with her or being held or like walking around and like cleaning the house or cooking or whatever. But so those two combinations of Nash not sleeping and then also needing me a little bit more during the day definitely contributed to my not being able to do more than 80,000 words or more than 50,000 words. I hit 30,000 words, guys, by like, I don't know, day 9 or something. I definitely could have done more than 50,000 words, even if I'd just written 500 words a day on those 10 days that I decided that I just like couldn't write. So that contributed to it. The biggest thing though that contributed to it was at the beginning of the month, I deleted all of my like time wasting apps off of my phone. And that first weekend, I was like, you know what, Rachel, you've done so great. You deserve to do a little time wasting. It's like, okay, I'll re-delete them on Monday. Did I re-delete them on Monday? No, of course I did not re-delete them on Monday because that would just make sense. So those were still there. I also, after that first week I was really good at like mentally preparing myself the night before, and then in the morning when I woke up for like the first thing that I was gonna do was write. I was gonna get up, I was gonna make my decaf coffee, and I was gonna sit down and write. And that first week it worked great. But then I stopped doing that, and thus it stopped working. So I would get up in the morning and I'd make my coffee, and then, you know, I'd scroll through AO3 and read AO3 for a couple hours. Fun fact, reading AO3 does not count as writing your own book. Weird, who would have thought? I know, not me. So that didn't help. And then, you know, throughout the day when I had time that I could be writing, that Nash was sleeping, I just, honestly, I couldn't, guys. I was so tired. I'm so tired all the time. It's gotten a little bit better. The last week, she started only waking up twice a night now, which is a blessing. But I think that the time-saving apps are definitely one of the biggest issues that I had. But honestly, even if I hadn't deleted, even if I had kept those deleted, I think that once I hit that point in my outline where I hadn't fully vetted it, I think I still would have hit that wall and not been able to overcome it. And I hit that wall I hit that wall at 40,000. I was so close to hitting 50,000 halfway through the month. But it just wasn't fully vetted. So when I was writing, the words just the scene wasn't coming to me as quickly as it had before. And I think if I just spent more time in October getting through the entire outline, it would have been a little bit easier. Or if I'd spent those days that I didn't write going through my outline and editing it and making it better, then I would have been able to push through a little bit more. Honestly, it didn't have enough focus and I didn't have enough dedication this month, partially due to obviously sleep deprivation. And I'm not, part of Nanowrimo is creating the habit of writing, and creating new habits is difficult. So that's another part of it. But I will keep writing. Next week, I'm gonna have a video on what I learned during this Nanowrimo, as well as my successes and failures doing it, and what I'm gonna do to fix those going forward, and what my plan, my full fleshed out plan going forward is. So I hope that you guys stay tuned and enjoy that, and I will see you next week. If you like this video, I hope you like and subscribe down below. I'll be posting weekly from now on, no more daily vlogs like I had been doing, and I will see you guys next week. Happy end of NaNoWriMo!